In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. There are many qualities in God. Two of the main qualities in God is truth and goodness. He is the creator and sustainer of our being. And as creator and as the sustainer of our being, a sustainer is who keeps us alive, who keeps us in existence. If God wanted to, or if God simply forgot us, we would cease to exist and be erased from history. But one of those qualities is the fact that God is perfect beauty. Something is beautiful insofar as it is as perfect as it can be. And the more perfect it can be, the more beautiful it is. Truth is the absence of all error. Truth is the absence of all falsity. And God is supreme truth because God is everything there is. God is existence. God is the standard, what we learn from. God is the knowledge that everything else shares. God is absolute truth. There are those who think that truth is dependent on me. What I think is true. And those people go around saying, well, what I think is true, at least for me, so what you think must be true for you. And they have what they call relativism, that truth is dependent on what you feel, or what you like, or what you want to believe in, or what you determine is what you are going to accept. There is nothing further from the truth because truth is a reality. It's God. It exists. And so our knowledge has to build up to that truth. There's no such thing as saying you cannot believe this or you cannot believe that because I don't accept this, because we believe what God teaches. God is the ultimate truth. And what He teaches us, we believe not because we feel like it, but because we know we have to. We are impelled by our love of God that wants to accept everything that God teaches because we love Him. We are in a unique situation right now because the president of this country wants to force us to believe something that is not corresponding to the truth of God. He might be the chief executive of this country, but that does not mean that he is the chief executive of God. It does not mean that because he has supreme power in this country, that his boundaries exceed and that he can change what is the truth of God. There's a story from the Old Testament where we were in a similar situation. And Saul had been appointed king and anointed by Samuel. And Saul thought that he was invincible because it was a new post. It was a new thing that they had a king. Before they did not have a king. And so he let it get to his head and he thought he was invincible, that there was nothing that he could not do. One day before battle, Samuel, who was the prophet and the priest and who was in charge of the liturgies, was running a little late, a few days late. He wasn't at the battle in time. And before battle, the Jews would always offer sacrifice. And they would not go into battle before offering sacrifice to God. And Samuel thought that since he was king and since he could do anything he wanted and since everything he said people did because they obeyed him, he thought that he could also offer sacrifice. And so he went ahead and did the ceremonies and offered sacrifice to God. And shortly after he finished, Samuel arrived and asked him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, you were taking your time, you weren't here, so I went ahead and offered sacrifice myself." God punished Saul, and he died. And not only did he die, but God took away the kingdom from his family and gave it to who was least worthy of it, a shepherd boy. King David, who became a very great king and an image of our Savior. Saul overstepped his boundaries. And unfortunately, the president has overstepped his boundaries. And you cannot tell God what to do. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, amen.